सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय, महायोगी स्वामी उमानंद सरस्वती की जय. Yes, we are going to talk about questions from 12 to 16 today. The text we are doing is Towards Divinity, based on SIDDHA yoke, which is explained by my Gurudev Swamy Umananda Saraswati, and I have been fortunate to translate it into English question answer book, Towards Divinity. Now the next question that we do is how to recognize a SIDDHA Guru. We talked about meditation. Now you need to recognize a SIDDHA Guru. Now whenever we meet various types of gurus, my God, we don't know whether they are right. And we have nowadays, I mean, it's not so easy. It's not so easy. Just because a person is in saffron, or just because they are wearing heavy Rudraksha mala, or so whatever. Let's try and find out what are the proper signs of a true Guru. There are certain masters who will tell you to practice those mantras, or chant those mantras, or read those texts, or practice a particular way of spiritual sadhana, which they have practiced. There are very many gurus, they themselves go through certain austerities. Now there are people who have done they have done, say, let's say they've done a lot of Om Namah Shivaya jap, chanting, then they will ask their devotees to do Om Namah Shivaya. Or if they have kept fasts on certain days, they will say you keep such fasts on these days. Or there are people who have been visiting Ganesh temple, and they will say go every so and so day to Ganesh temple and offer him these flowers and fruits, or whatever. So whatever they have done, they will tell you. Now these are also gurus, there is no doubt. These are also gurus. But you've got to know who is a SIDDHA Guru. Who is a SIDDHA Guru? He will only ask you, what is it you do? And he can make whatever you practice as a perfect sadhana for achieving spiritual goals. Suppose you come one day and you say, I don't have any guru, and I just say chant this particular mantra. So he will say, it doesn't matter, continue with it. But now when you start doing the same, it's going to bear different results. It's going to bear results which will make you realize that you are on a spiritual path. The Guru doesn't ask you to make changes much. A SIDDHA Guru won't ask you to make spiritual changes much. I'll tell you a very beautiful, the first time I met Muktanand Baba, I was hardly about, let's say 14, 15, and one of my mother's friend, she was wanting to take my mother to Muktanand Baba, who used to come to Woodhouse Road, and we were at that time staying in Kulaba. I was just 15, and my mother said she wouldn't have time. So I said, I don't mind coming if it's okay with you. So the lady said yes, but somehow she didn't turn up. Probably me being younger, she must have lost this interest in taking me along. So she probably decided not to come. But I was already anxious to meet a holy man, and I had that time my shoes and all, I was ready, and I was waiting for her in my own building but on the floor down. We used to stay on second floor. So I was standing down waiting for her. It was morning 5:30 and it was raining. Bombay rains are heavy. So I was very, very disappointed, but somehow my inner voice wouldn't stop me from going on my own. And I held a cab and I said, take me to Woodhouse Road. Now the cab took me to Woodhouse Road, but the driver turned back and says, baby, you should not be going so early in taxis all by yourself. Next time be careful. So I just said, no, there's a very great holy man has come here. Why don't you also come? You can also seek his blessings. But he just dropped me and he went. And when I went to meet Baba, Baba had finished satsang. His morning satsang was over, prayers were over, and he had gone in. I must have reached by about 6. Normally they finish their first sessions between 3 to 6. And he had gone into his personal room. Then I went there and I said, I asked the people outside, I said, I'd like to seek his darshan. So they said, he has just gone in and I don't think we will be able to let you go, you'll have to wait. So I said, just inform him that I have come. So this says, who are you? So of course I just told my name. But I don't know what made me say that, inform him I have come, as if I was somebody very great. And then of course Baba did send for me. He said, okay, send her in. And when I went there, I was looking at him and I was already initiated by Guruni Maharaj, another great saint of Pune. And that was about a year or two before I had gone to Muktanand Baba. And when I went there, I sat there on the floor and I said, I have come here to receive your blessings. So he said, how about saluting me? I mean, offer me some salutations. So when I went, I humbly said, I have been initiated already by Guruni Maharaj. So Muktanand Baba said, oh, he was a very great man, he is a very great saint. Then what brings you here? So very innocently I said, I would like to take the blessings of all the saints in the world. So he just patted me on my head and he says, okay, you continue worshipping Guruni Maharaj. Now what I am trying to tell you is, they don't ask you to change yourself. They don't say, now don't do anything more about Guruni Maharaj. Here is a fresh thing I am giving you and start from today with this mantra. Forget all what was told earlier. No, they don't do that. And they don't do that. And I came back and I was just energized with more enthusiasm on this path and my spiritual sadhana to great intensity. So this is a Siddha Guru. Again, when I went to my Guru Umanand Saraswati, when I went to her also, she actually was Muktanand Baba's disciple. So Muktanand Baba had come to my Gurudev's place and I had gone there at Yashodhan, opposite CCI Club, Bombay, and to seek darshan again of Baba. When I went there, Baba sort of, I thought he recognized me. I mean, might not have been so. But of course, I was there. And at that time, it was a very subtle interaction. They don't tell you anything. He just patted and he allowed me to start my journey. And unknowingly, knowingly, I started going to Umanand Saraswati for my next austerities. So these are Siddha Gurus. They don't abide you with their own ashram. They don't stop you from going to the other ashrams or gurus. They don't tell you, you must be only doing this particular sadhana or you must be only doing this. They'll say, no, whenever you are sitting for meditation, let me know or think of me and I will help you. So it's a very easy way a Siddha can turn you into a Siddha by merely looking at you, by merely looking at you. He doesn't need you to even practice any sadhana. If you are a blessed soul, and if the Guru is sure that all right, here's somebody useful for the world, then he can hype you spiritually within a fraction of seconds, within fraction of seconds. Well, that is a Siddha Guru. And now, for they say, is Siddha Yoga easy? The next question comes is Siddha Yoga easy? So, those who want to be sadhak, that is, those who want to be followers, for them Siddha Yoga is very good. But those who aspire for becoming Siddha, then their canvas of study or reach has to go wider. It has to go wider. And then gradually they have to create their own little school of thought, which is most suitable to their type, their style. For example, when I went to my Guru's ashram, they had certain texts to follow, they had certain readings to be done. Of course, I've done all of that. I did have my prayers, which were, even now I say the same prayers which were given to me by my Guru. I studied the same texts which were given. But I definitely probed a little further into the higher study, the other studies, I won't say higher, other studies which came my way. I started writing, and I did emerge as a, let's say as a writer, as an orator, as a speaker, as a ashram founder. I did create my own ashram. I had devotees coming to it, and somewhere I developed the confidence of taking up the role of a guru for those newcomers. It was, whether it was right or wrong was not in my mind. It was only that I should be able to help these people who have come. So somehow gradually it took me towards this role of Siddha. I know there's a lot to be still attained, I don't deny that. But I'm sure that will come to me as and when I need to cross the bridge. So right now I feel, yes, I feel a continuous longing for studies, and I think, and sharing what I've learned, and realizing that whatever is being understood by me is because of the grace of my Guru, and whatever is being done by me in the form of writings, or in the form of oratory, or in form of accomplishments, or travels, and whatever credits that I have received, I know that they are due to the grace of my Guru. So there are three types of Siddhas. Basically, there are three types of Siddhas. One is a born Siddha. Now we have a very good example my Gurudev used to talk about is Nityanand Baba. He was a born Siddha. At the age of 8-10, he started giving advices to great judges about taking certain decisions in court. And this was a rare ability. He would go into deep waters and sit there for meditation. He would make snakes stay put in samadhi state and not move for 3 days. Now that was at a very young age of 10 and 12. Now this is a born Siddha. We have examples of born Siddhas, Shankaracharya at the age of 2, because he was an incarnation of Lord Shiva. So there are saints, Narasimha Saraswati, another great saint of Guru Charitra. The child till the age of 7 did not say a word, did not speak a word. And the parents felt that after thread ceremony he may show certain improvement. But who would recite how could he chant the mantras which were given to the the boy of thread ceremony by the priest, by the father. But before the mantra was given to him, the boy at the age of 7, the first word he spoke was the four prime important statements of each Ved, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Atharva Veda and Samaveda. So, and then he, before, when the parents were not sure whether they should have thread ceremony, he took the parents into his kitchen room, and whatever he held in the hand, he turned it into gold without speaking. So, these are born Siddha. They are born Siddha. I was at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10, I was very drawn to Siddhas. So, maybe somewhere the journey was destined. But then there are others who are like tapasvis, those who have attained Siddhatva through meditation or austerities or sadhana. And Gurudev used to talk about Muktan Baba and herself, and she used to say these are the categories. Probably it was her modesty. For me, she was an incarnation of goddess Parvati and Lord Shiva. And but when she used to explain to us, she would say that, well, we probably fall into the category of doing sadhana and attaining Siddhatva. And then the third category is the category of grace, those who develop by grace. I don't mind putting myself into that third category. It's not that I have not done sadhana. I have worked on books. There's be 8 hours of my writing. I have tried it. But I would still don't mind calling myself, putting myself into third category. Because earlier I used to do very stiff penances. I have done fastings for almost 70 days when I was in US and all. And I would not eat much food except have some curds. And I still remember I had been to my nephew's house to stay, and his wife was there. She asked me very politely, very loving, I'm very fond of Sujata and Neeraj. And then Sujata asked me, she says, what will you have? She used to call me Anumaushi. So I used to say, I don't eat food. And when she talked to her co-sister-in-law, she was happily telling her that, you know what, Maushi doesn't eat any food. And there was, as if there was a joy that she doesn't have to follow rigorously any austerities, food which is consumed by people who perform austerities. But there were times when I could do that, and now, of course, I'm not able to perform anything stiff and strong, but I'm regular about certain things. And as I said, whatever you start doing, that itself is made spiritual. This is the grace of Guru. Whatever you are into, if you are writing, you are reading, you are talking, you are going out for some, all those activities are turned into spiritual activities. You don't have to purposely do a spiritual act. Whatever you are doing becomes a spiritual act. Where does this Siddha Yoga lead us to? It just makes you a perfect human being. It's an evolved human being. Now let's say, I'll give a small example now in last 50, 60 days of this lockdown period. There can be moments of frustration, there can be moments of anger bouts, or there can be moments of sulking, whatever it is. Let's say an evolved state for last 50 to 55, 60 days. I have not I have not become angry, or I have not felt dull, or I have not. So let's consider that this is slightly an evolved state, and that we are able to live life more easily. Of course, we are not faced with challenges which some of the poor people on streets are. But yes, If one wants to cry, he can find any reason. If one wants to fight, he can find any reason. If one wants to criticize, he can find any person. But all this probably lasts 50, 55, 60 days. It has not touched me. So I think I would call myself a graced person. And then how do we develop love for Guru? This is one question I would like to answer. Whatever good happens to you, whatever good has happened to you until now, this moment, this day, whatever, give that credit to your Guru. And gradually you will start seeing his lordliness or her lordliness. And that is what makes you start loving your Guru. So these are a few questions I have talked about. This actually is going to give you a beautiful bent of mind. And that is going to help you. We have to again go back to our austerities of meditation and meditative life. And these certain attitudes towards life, towards our spiritual thinking is going to help us. So we have again done a few questions, almost 4 from 12 to 16, and this is Swamy Radhikananda. The text we have dealt is the first text of the out of the 4 that we have decided, and this is Swamy Radhikananda Academy. All those who wish to get enrolled for a certificate program, please do send your details on 9511602400. It's a WhatsApp number. You will be enrolled and you will receive the material if and when needed. This is Swamy Radhikananda from Pune. Thank you.